Welcome to Platinum Starcast, where we cast the stars tonight. Today we have a very special episode about D&D. We have my friend Bronson, who did Adventure Leagues here, and also another Kyle, who's also Jack's best friend.
Yeah.
Of the store owner. So we are going to talk about some D&D experiences. Both of them have DM experience as well, and I have a little bit of D&D experience myself, and we also have a little story to tell me and Bronson for one of our one-off games that we did together. So let's get this started.
Woohoo! So you got a question list?
Oh yeah, I do. What's your first experience with the game? That's very simple.
Oh no. You want to go first? All right. So my first experience with the game was I went to college, and my sophomore year I started playing at Rutgers with a few of my friends, and it was an awful D&D experience. I didn't know
First time is always the sloppiest.
Yeah,
Sloppy first.
they made me like a very generic half-work optimized fighter. So in combat, I was like wrecking shit. This was a Pathfinder game, but out of combat, I had no clue what I was doing or how to play. And then when I expressed my confusion that I didn't really know what I was doing and I was bored outside of combat, they kicked me out of the game.
Ooh. Oh my god.
Yeah, that was my first D&D experience, and I didn't play it again for another 3 years.
Oh God,
That's
horrible.
sad.
Yeah.
That's horrible. But
Yep.
look, you're enjoying the game now.
Oh man.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I did curse out the DM. But
Oh.
But that was after that. That was after that. I wasn't just like, fuck this. I was like, dude, I think I'm done. I don't know what to do here. And he was like, okay, you have to leave and can't come hang out with us anymore. And I was like, fuck you, dude. You can't tell me not to hang out with my friends. Not
so
realizing,
weird.
like, the DM has kind of control over the table. Yet, yeah, it was not good. It was a bad experience.
Yikes.
Yep.
Oh, your turn.
Okay. Mine was similar. Mine was around my junior year in college. I believe I might be wrong on this. I think we played 3.5, and I was a like half giant warlord or something like that. I remember no one in the group tried to RP at all, so
Oh.
I had to be. I was not the face. I had zero charisma, but boy, did I try to talk to everything. I was like Mountain Man who didn't know what civilization was. I think my first thing is, what is this table? It's amazing. And I think our party went about trying to save a farm, but burning it all down. And as the farmers looked on in panic, we had our dwarf just laughing at them.
Typical murder hobo.
Oh, it was bad.
I think I did okay. Flames in the background. Iron Man gif.
I can explain everything. It was not great.
From my first experience, thank God I did my first D&D with you, Bronson. Like, at first we didn't, but eventually we got there, and we got a lot better during those games, though.
Your first D&D game was when Derek and Tom were co-DMing that game at
Yeah.
Nova originally, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that was the first one, but we gotten better. I made a character named Fook Troop.
Fook troop.
Fook-Truk. F-U-U-K-T-R-U-U-K. Fook-Truk.
Okay.
It's like,
Troop.
sounds
So,
like,
Derek and Tom did rolled stats, and Kyle's first character had 3 18s.
Oh.
And it wasn't like 18, 18, 18, 5, 5, 5. It was like 18, 18, 18, 16, 15, 14.
Wow.
And then he went, I want to play a fighter.
yeah, Derek suggested that. So Derek was like, you're gonna hit like a fuck truck.
To be
and
fair.
I just went, let's just name him that.
Yep.
And it was fun.
To be fair, fighter is a great first character to break into if you're trying to understand game mechanics.
Oh, 100%.
Hilariously, if I remembered this, it'll be for another question. It'll be for another thing later. But I'll tell you later, guys. But here's something for you guys. Since you're both DMs, what are the
Okay.
challenges of being a DM?
Oh man. I can tell you right now, I literally have session tomorrow, and for me, 100%, it's writing. Just sitting down, like, I have a million ideas, and I'm like, oh, I want him to do this. I try not to just have, like, every session be a fight. Like, I've been trying to struggle with ideas, like, what if I gave them a week to plan the best performance in the world for, like, a czar or something like that, and just put them in, like, a stock 10 and see what they come up with. Trying to put them in that kind of a situation with some kind of framework around it is nightmare fuel for me, because I'm terrible with consistency,
Okay.
but I like characters better. So I'll stick characters in, and a lot of it's on the fly. What about you?
Managing people. I always say that DMing is a subtle art of manipulating your friends into having a good time.
That's so true.
And unfortunately, there are situations where you're going to have to deal with people who are, A, not really your friends, people you've just met, people that you kind of know, friends bringing their friends in. And oftentimes, if your friends are bringing people in, then you generally have an amicable, personable situation. But I think everybody is familiar with the way Adventure League works, where you DM at a store and then people can just show up. And then you may not get some people who are so savory. For example, my acquaintance Floyd was DMing a game and had 2 meth heads break out into a fist fight at his table.
I was there.
You were?
I was behind the counter with Jack when this happened.
Wow.
I got the look of Jack of, buddy, you might need to be my backup. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Store stories, everybody. Store stories.
And then a little bit less severe of that, as fucking wild as that story is. I think you really got to manage people's schedule. You got to manage people's personalities and opinions sometimes. On more times than not, I've had to pull players aside and let them know that what they're doing isn't kosher with the way I want the table to run. So I think that for me has always been the hardest part of DMing. Not in the sense that it's undoable, but just the thing that I think requires the most effort.
That's scary. I've never DM'd for someone I didn't personally know or was friends with before.
I'm unfortunately I'm a filthy extrovert, so I love meeting new people and hopefully befriending them over time and making their experience with D&D a positive one.
That's noble.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite thing to do right now is infect people into the virus that is D&D. So.
God, booming right now, man.
Yeah.
Here's a good one. This is for Bronson. What are the challenges of doing Adventure League?
I would say, honestly, no more than doing any other game. My only major qualm with Adventures League right now is that in order to get the Adventures League rules proper, you have to go on the DM's Guild, create an account, purchase, quote-unquote, a $0 package on that account, and then get all the rules downloaded in a zip packet, and I just think that's super inaccessible.
Yeah.
I would
That's
love...
a little bit of a bummer.
Yeah. I would love if they did something more like Paizo did with Pathfinder, where they just have all the documents uploaded as a click to go to on the website. Now, let's say I'm in the middle of a session. I need to pull up a treasure reward guide. I have to go through the exact process if I don't have all those files saved on my laptop or my phone or whatever at any given time, which honestly is my fault for lack of preparation, but it should be more easily accessible.
Completely agree. That's what drew me to Pathfinder.
Like I said, I don't know that much. I only have a year of experience of D&D, but understanding accessibility is very important.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people answer that question, but they don't like the restrictions that Adventures League puts on characters. I find those restrictions are typically positives, that they increase balance. They, you don't have a game that is flooded with magical items, so you don't have disproportionately powered characters. You don't have people who could fly and such at first level, which really turns off a lot of encounters for a lot of DMs. So, I just wanted to give you the duality of what I think the greatest obstacle is versus what I think the general perception of the greatest obstacle is for Adventures League.
Yeah, no, I get it. I just figured I asked that question because you used to do Adventure League here at the store, so I figured this would be a good question,
I did 2 years of campaigns. I did Horde of the Dragon Queen and Rise of Tiamat, and we took both of those books all the way to completion and had a finale, never dropping below 7 people in the game.
That's awesome, man.
That's awesome. Okay, here's a good one. Your favorite moment, event that you love in D&D, like something that you could think of. It could be as a DM or as a character.
All right, this is gonna be a player. This is going to take a little bit of explaining, so I'll try to fast forward this. I played like a DC-themed campaign.
Okay.
But at this point, we were the villains. So we all had different kind of like villains thing. Like we had like an evil Superman. Like I was like Solomon Grundy. So much fun of a character. But we had this weird situation where we kept getting pulled into different universes because the DM just basically wanted to do fun things. So we had a what is it, like CSI episode, but it was it was SVU.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
We literally rolled dice to see what characters we would go into, and I got the lead. The what's her name? The one woman. I forget her name, but like, basically we started off consoling a victim, and I am Solomon Grundy in a new woman's body.
We understand you, Sad.
Well,
These things happen sometimes.
it was exactly that, but I agree with my DM. Is like, look, we learn who we are over time, but Solomon Grundy not good with word. So we agreed that I would slowly gain syllables over time.
Oh, okay.
So that was super fun, trying to console a victim. So I'm just talking in caveman speak. She looks over to my other commander's like, what on earth is wrong with him? And I go,
Mariska
wait.
Haggerty.
Yes.
That was the name. It just... All right.
But,
Hey, what's wrong with him?
And then Grundy said, no worry. Small here, pointing to my brain. Big here, pointing to my heart.
Oh, my God.
And that is a moment that's lived on in that campaign. It's super fun.
Wild.
And now it's immortalized in this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
And then I also had to do like a staged speed dating thing. I had 3 syllables, and in the middle of it gained a 4th. And I needed to like bluff as Solomon Grundy. It was
Wow.
It was rough.
That's wild.
That sounds like a hilarious.
Oh man, it was a good
game.
time. He's a great DM.
Alright.
Wow.
Alright, now it's your turn, Bronson.
So are you talking about a specific experience or my
Any-
favorite thing about the
any-
D&D experience?
Anything like your moment. Like a moment that you can remember that you played.
Oh, man.
There's
It's
so many.
got to be watching my friends who have never played D&D before discover how to roleplay.
That sounds
Oh
familiar.
boy.
Like, because you'll watch somebody go timid for, like, the first couple sessions, and then all of a sudden, I like putting things in that are centric to the character. Like, I'll know what pisses my friends off in a game, and to get them invested, do it to them. Not from a, like a point of being, like, a dick. Like, if I know that they said their character doesn't like A, I will do A as an NPC against them to get them invested in what they're doing. And
That's so smart.
Yeah,
I
I've seen
love
them do it.
watching people break into their characters and really get like pissed at what I'm doing, and then ending that role play, switching to a different NPC, and then having to remind them, "Hey, different character. This is role playing, guys." And then having just watching that like aha moment, and then what I love even more is people who don't get it. So
Okay.
I love when people have trouble breaking back and forth between the two, because it leads to some of the most ridiculous situations I've ever seen. I had my friend get mind controlled by a CR-19 adult worm black dragon polymorphed into a little old lady, because like he didn't get that as a rogue he actually had to sneak around places.
Right.
He was just like, I go in there, and like assumed that I would fill in the gaps for him. And this was not early in his D&D foray. He was like a level 14 character, and he'd been in since like level 5. So
Okay.
he was at this point supposed to know what he's doing.
Yeah, no, you need to punish that.
Yeah. So
Is this the one I think it is that you told me before?
yeah, I don't want to mention names.
Okay,
In
no,
case-
I'm just saying.
In case he's embarrassed about it and listens to this, because he is one of our friends.
Yeah,
But
but we love him anyway.
I love all aspects of that. I love people discovering how to roleplay. I love watching people fuck it up. I love watching people do amazing things. It's like, that's my favorite part of D&D.
Oh man.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Let's see. Okay, I got one. This one's gonna be. This one is good. What is your favorite character that you made?
Ooh.
Fuck.
You want me to go first?
Does there the distinction that we have to have played them, or an
You
NPC
have
as well?
played them. You played them.
But so an NPC can still fall into that category under
If
our
you
DMing.
wanted to.
You're talking about a PC that we've played in somebody else's campaign?
Like a character. Yeah, like as you're the character.
Fuck.
You have a lot of them, don't you?
Yeah, I've got like a solid 9 to pick from.
Oh wow.
I
God,
have-
you played a lot more than I have.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Theodil, Tyrenia, Ben, Gurkai, Dolphus. That I don't remember the work fighter's name I was just talking about. Jesus Christ. Amari I'm playing right now. And I know there's more. I played a sorcerer in another game very briefly, a couple sessions, but oh my god, that's a hard question.
Yeah, I'm.
Do you want to go first? Do you
Trust
have
me, I've been coming up with questions all week.
So before we got to villains in that DC campaign, we played heroes. and I played a Green Lantern called Cassidy Denver. And these were all fan-made characters, so I had a class all up to its own. But I had 2 spells which I didn't know would break that character. And that was Summon Monster 4 and Telekinetic Charge. You ever launch a rhino at somebody? Because that's all I did. I would make construct rhinos and just fire them at people. And it became... There's a gif in The Simpsons where somebody has a sack of cats, puts it into a crossbow, and fires the cat.
Oh my God.
That was a gif that was shared in that group for a very long time. And oh man,
Wow.
It made a lot of encounters very funny.
I remember that episode too, where Lisa goes up to that hatch.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite character. It's so hard because I like a lot of my characters for a lot of different reasons. I try to put a little piece of myself in each one of my characters and like
That's
work
smart.
Yeah.
and try to like work through parts of my personality that I'm like not either happy with or that I have like an unresolved conflict with. So I think I already know the answer has got to be Ben. I was playing a Tempest cleric named Ben Clearwater. He is a half elf, but he sounded like a dwarf because he was captured by dwarves and forced to work as a magical crafter because they have magical tendencies.
Okay.
But
That's interesting.
Tempest clerics in the handbook are jackasses. I mean, it's fully described. Yeah, if Tempest clerics, they typically worship chaotic neutral deities. They're more of like a follow my deity or I'm gonna kick your ass. Like that's their kind of MO.
Interesting.
And the handbook specifically states they kind of like rule through fear and things like that. But they're not evil. They're neutral. So kind of
Wow.
yeah.
Okay. All right.
Dancing that line of not being an outright evil character and then also having to be kind of a dick was something I really kind of relate to myself because I think I'm a good person, but I'm also a gigantic asshole.
That's
And-
New Jersey in you.
Fair enough.
And I really wanted to try to work through that and exercise like kind of scenarios that would play out in my head as Ben in character with other people because you know you really get a chance to do and say things you couldn't do in real life in D&D. So while playing Ben, I kind of got to see the long-term effects of a character being kind of just a giant jackass. And then because I don't like static characters, I brought him through a really dope redemption arc where he actually changed domains.
Okay.
He through various events failed so many times at tasks that Thor had set for him
Right.
that he was abandoned by Thor and then it ended up moving to the Church of Gond and became a Forge cleric. And that was a massive like entire campaign long personality shift for him. And I think that as I've grown up and gotten a little bit more calm and a little bit more understanding as a person, I think Ben's kind of been a lot of the catalyst for that. As I've grown as Ben, I've grown as Bronson. So
Huh.
that's why
How long did that campaign run?
we're on its 3rd year right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
So,
makes sense.
We're like
Bronson,
2.5.
So
I thought you were
best
telling
way
me
to
this
say
was
it,
a-
Bronson, you use D&D as therapy.
Basically.
Yeah.
No, that's a smart way, and it saves you money.
I mean, there's a famous there's a famous text post that goes around that's like what I thought D&D was gonna be, and it's like sweet combat and blah 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 and all this shit, and then what D&D actually is helping my friends through various parts of their personalities while role playing a goblin. And Matt Mercer reblogged it, and he was like, "Yep."
Amazing.
I'll tell you this: I made only 2 characters. There's Spook, which I love. Then I made this. It was more for the one-off game we did.
Mhm.
I called him Third Hobbs the Third, and he had a split personality. He's rich, but he's also greedy, and he has a different side of himself. Think of it as Gollum, except crazier.
Okay. So
So-
he's like a collector.
Yeah, he's like. So he's like a little, and he's like a little halfling.
Okay.
I was like, just like, if I'm gonna be, and they were like, how about being a halfling? I was like, can I just make my character have a split personality and call him Third, and make him sound like, so he's rich and douchey as possible, but when he sees gold, he gets greedy as hell.
Oh,
I
man.
took a golden dragon tail and just took it away, like.
Did you get punished for it?
No, that was like the end of our campaign. I just ran off with that.
Oh, jeez.
I thought that was like I thought it'd be a great way to change, have like a performance character for a one-off campaign.
Nice.
And that's good. We're gonna talk about that a little bit later. The most craziest thing we've ever witnessed. But let's see what the next one's gonna be. Okay, these ones are this one and then the story question.
Okay.
What is your worst Nat 1 moment, but your best critical 20?
Oh.
I'm making some good questions, aren't I, guys?
Ooh. Oh, that's a hard one. I can definitely think of one. This is going back, same Rhino Launcher man. One of the caveats, the way I cast spells was kind of strange. Because it was like Green Lantern and nature, your power can like run out. So on a cast, if I rolled a 1, I lost all Green Lantern powers. I was man.
Oh.
And Green Lanterns can fly.
Oh. Is this why you had to shift to an evil character?
At 40 feet in the air, losing your powers, not great. But thank God we had a Superboy, and he done caught me. But that was not fun about that character. We actually, as I leveled up, we kind of like made it into like, no, you have to like. We just kind of took that thing out of it, which was nice. We used like charges instead.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which was a lot smarter. Yeah, it was like, oh man, really pivotal moment. Like, let me do the damage. I am out of power.
Well, shit.
I might need some time to think of my 20 though.
All right.
Your worst Nat 1 moment?
So my worst Nat 1 moment, I'm kind of tied between two. One is the same guy I was talking about before that got that CR-19 dragon brain controlling him, mind controlling him. But I got to say that early in another campaign, we're playing with my friend John, and I was DMing, and that was a planar chaos campaign. Some cataclysmic event happened where sections of different planes got carved out and formed a new planet.
Okay.
And they got
That's sick.
deposited on it. So they'd travel through like one portion of the elemental plane of lightning, and then they'd move to the elemental plane of fire just by crossing a boundary. And there were creatures that had gotten like severed in half when the planar chaos had happened and things like that. So the group encountered a devil with its legs severed, attempting to tend to its wounds, standing next to a lava flow in what was essentially one of the 9 hells that had gotten transported to where they were. My friend John was playing a barbarian, and he goes, does the devil see us? And I was like, nope, you guys have successfully stealthed up upon it. How do you want to deal with this? Do you want to talk to him? Do you want to attack him? John's like, oh, I want to attack him. He's a devil, right? He's got to be a bad guy. And I was like, you just tell me what you want to do, and I'll tell you how it happens. And he goes, okay, I'm going to charge at him and make an attack. I go, John, if you roll a 1, you're going in the lava. Before you even make the roll, I want you to know that if you do a charge, because this is a 3-5 campaign, it's actually like the charging feats and such.
Okay.
If you charge at him and you nat 1, you're going in the lava. So he goes, okay, I'll try it. Fat nat 1 on the table. And he's like, dude, and this is a level 3 character. You go in lava, you're dead.
Yeah.
Right? Lava's 30d6 a turn, and then 15d6 a turn for 3 rounds.
30d6 a turn?
30d6 a turn.
I mean, it is lava.
And then 15d6 a turn for every turn you get out. Or every turn after you get out, I'm sorry.
Jeez.
So I go, you know what? Okay, fine. I will give you a dexterity saving throw. Nat 1.
Yikes.
He literally begged to not lose his character, and I ended up taking pity on him. And I was like, all right, fine. You don't go in the lava. But I want you to know that you should have gone in the lava. We said you were going in the lava. You nat 1'd twice. You should have gone in the lava.
Oh, man. He owes you everything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Did you think of a nat 21?
Yes. All right. I'm going to not use a player character, but this is a NPC I made that was literally the product of 3 nat 20s. So I had a town that my party was running through. It was full of refugees, and there was basically a bunch of kids who were just kind of running amok. There was a group of 5 kids, and one of them I just made kind of beefy. I literally made a small party. So, like, they were all, and with Barbarian, anytime I rolled for him, nat 20. He literally like there was a character who was like a he delivered mail. He was like a delivery man, and he got robbed right away by the group. The group actually found these kids, literally beat up children, and offered them off to the guards. And I'm like, all right, well, while they were away, like, what did Big Jim do? Did he try to escape? Of course. So I rolled, I get a nat 20. And I'm like, all right, so this child has escaped jail. But he's going to run into the guard. How's he fare against the guard? Another nat 20. He has knocked the guard unconscious and robbed the guard. So now I have a small tyrant going around, and my whole party's like, yo, this town is terrible. They can't even keep track of, like, these children who are just on a tirade around here. And I'm like, yep, they sure are. So, Big Jim has been running afoul in this town ever since. Wow. And now that's just been a fun character to play around with.
Oh, God. It's so
One child with the strength of 2.
All right, so my favorite Nat 20 moment is so I'm playing a Kenku Warlock. Started off with I think it was a couple levels of Warlock, and then Rogue. Maybe I started off in Rogue. I don't remember. Whatever the combination was at that point, I was part Rogue, part Warlock. Now the Kenkus have mimicry, and he was a great Olden Warlock, so he could communicate with the Awakened Mind, but he couldn't do anything but mimic sounds outside, like into the open air. So at one point, he's locked up, and he gets a missive from the Queen. This was like their call to adventure. And the guard goes, all right, well, I don't know why, but you have a missive from the Queen, so we're going to let you out. Make sure you go right to the Queen's castle, and no funny business. And my Kenku looks back up, and it goes, funny business, and then escapes. So the group meets up where the missive said to. We head into the castle. We talk to the Queen, and on the way out, this is the Queen's castle. There are a lot of expensive things.
Of course.
Kenkus love shiny things. Okay?
Of course.
So on the way out, Sick, his name was like the noise a sheath makes.
Okay.
Sees his sized vase, like the same height as him, because Kenkus are small, and is drooling. Gold bands encrusted around it. He's got to have it. So the DM goes, okay, do you want to try to make a sleight of hand check? And I was like, damn right I do. Nat 20. So it's like a 25 or 6 or something. And he swipes it, sticks it in his backpack, and now his backpack's all stretched out and as big as him. On the way out, a guard notices something screwy and goes, what the hell is that? And he kind of like cocks his head to the side and had mimicked something else somebody had said in terms of like, oh, nothing, or like something like that. And I rolled a deception check. Nat 20. 26. Guard goes, okay. DM rolls an insight check. 4. So Sick hobbles out holding this enormous vase, and the guard is like, fine, whatever, that must have been his pack when he came in. I'm not the one that walked them in. He gets out. They go back to their hideout where they originally met up.
Right.
And Sick takes this enormous vase off of his back, puts it on a table, drops the bag, and the whole party's like, oh my god, how did you get that? And the lawful good cleric goes, did you do something bad? How did you get that vase? And Sick looks back at him and goes, funny business.
God damn it.
That's my favorite Nat 20 moment.
Oh, that's great.
All right, so before we get to the last question, because it's a simple one, we got to tell everyone about that story you and me did with that one-off campaign with our buddy Jason with the Wish thing.
Ooh, sounds fun.
Yeah. It was the most unbelievable thing ever. It was, I can't remember, he 20'd everything, and then the DM.
So let me take it back to the beginning. There was a day that a lot of the main players of our campaign for one of Tom's campaigns couldn't make it, so we decided to do a one-shot that was part of Jason's backstory, and Jason was playing a goblin monk.
Okay.
And the thing was, he found this like offshoot high-level wizard or some sort that had his own dungeon and things like that, and he was like, you're gonna play my game and try to beat my dungeon. And part of the shenanigans of the dungeon was there were random scrolls around that were a randomly determined spell scroll. So
Oh,
we get
no.
so it, like he takes his main character
Uh-huh.
from the real campaign and brings it in because it's focused around him. Then everybody else makes up some bullshit. Lally was playing like a fucking wizard.
Sleepy wizard named
Yeah,
Z.
sleepy wizard named Z who sounded like Kirby. I was playing a winged half dragon named Raldrigen the Loud, and he was a bard.
I love
He was
it.
a College of Swords bard, and his guitar was an axe. It was like a guitar with an axe head on it.
Okay, that's sick.
So
I love that one.
we go through the dungeon and we get to the final boss, and at one point I think I turned myself into a giant ape and threw. Did I throw a T-Rex at somebody? What was that? You remember?
It was somebody with a catapult or something. Like it was some of the goblins, I think. I can't remember exactly, but I remember the giant gorilla and you threw something.
No,
Where'd the gorilla
You
come
threw-
from?
hold no.
Wait,
I threw Big Booty Judy.
Yes.
What is Big Booty Judy?
So Joe and Keith made characters in that game that were a kind of
A duo.
a duo, and one of them was a centaur and the other one was a minotaur, and the centaur rode
I already love this.
the minotaur rode the centaur, and I had turned myself into a giant ape and whipped the combo of them at somebody.
Okay.
And while that happened, that caused enough of a distraction for Jason's character to find a spell scroll. Now, because these are randomly determined, Tom rolled a d10 with 0 being cantrip,
Right.
9,
9.
right? 9th level spell, and then rolled alphabetically, and Jason got a wish
Yeah.
Ow.
and switched
He 100%'d
bodies
it.
with the mage. So he became the mage in control of the dungeon, and the mage became the goblin monk. So he goes, like, now he's a goblin, and he goes, I'm going to cast a spell, and goes to cast his high-level magic spells, and nothing comes out because he's a monk.
Right.
It was,
And that was just the most random, wild, ridiculous campaign I've ever been in.
yeah, his wish was, I wish this was my game now, and all of a sudden,
Yep.
Oh God.
Not only did he... No, he said, I wish I was the dungeon master.
Oh, yeah, you're
That's
right.
That's
It
how
was
he
the wish.
worded it. So the wish, the magic, the weave took that as body swap.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, I couldn't remember what it was. I remember it was something like that.
Yep.
I was,
I've never been in a situation with the wish gone off. That's
I was,
scary.
we all were standing up saluting, just hoping for this magical thing.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most incredible things I've ever seen. So, all right, but here comes the last question. What do you guys like about coming here to this tour at Platinum Star?
Oh, I mean, I've every campaign I've run has been here. I've only been DMing for a little while now, and honestly, the space is like super open. You really have your own privacy here. I mean, like people come and go, but like that's kind of the fun of it too.
Yeah.
Because then you get like people interested, people listening in. You can also like watch, like listen into other people's games like going on, and like be like, oh man, like what on earth are they running?
Yeah, I remember a couple people, like our friend Devin came in and actually just watched for a little bit.
Yeah, and like that's a really fun thing. Like people will ask, like, "Hey, do you mind if I sit in?" Like I don't mind that as DM.
Yeah.
It's super fun. It's like, "Hey, you want to play an NPC? Here you go.
Yeah.
You're the shopkeeper. Go."
I
Yeah.
always say like D&D. It's like how they asked me a question. I said, think of it as like radio for your brain. Think of it as like a radio. D&D is like a radio show.
Yeah, that can make sense.
Yeah, just like this podcast. What about you, Bronson?
I really like how clean the space is. I've been to a lot of game shops over the years, and this is the only one I've ever been in that's really presentable, well upkept, friendly atmosphere. A lot of times people will find that, you know, you'll walk into a game shop and it's very like, I don't want to say over the top and nerdy, but it's like there's shit stacked all over the walls. There's no real organization or you know, real emphasis on cleanliness or you know, you don't feel real welcome when you walk into a lot of these because it's just kind of the nature of the people that go there sometimes.
Yeah.
You don't really get that here. You walk in, either Jack or Dean says hi to you right away. There's open areas, open tables. People all kind of look over. Sometimes they wave. There's a lot of things going on. There's groups playing D&D. There's groups playing Magic. There's groups playing Smash. And I haven't found anybody yet at this shop that would really like turn somebody away or like make somebody feel unwelcome. So aside from the cleanliness, I think it's how personable everybody is here when you come into the shop. Like I've been in other shops and seen families come in, like take a 360 around the room and then walk the fuck out because the place is like either grody or unwelcoming or something like that. This is more kind of like a friendly, clean place that you can really go to hang out and not be like kind of either grossed out or feel weird about being there.
The best way to say it is it's like a home.
Yeah, definitely. The couches help.
Yep, it definitely does help. All right, so this is going to be the last part of the podcast. This is just a personal question. What have you been watching or what have you been playing?
I've been playing Doom on Nightmare Mode.
Ooh.
Doom 2016. That makes me feel really bad about how well I play Doom. My own personal Doom skill. But yeah, I've actually been having kind of a hard time getting into anything new video game wise. So I've been playing a lot of D&D, playing a lot of Magic. I just, built my 4th Commander deck for Magic, and
Ooh, what'd you build?
Omnath, Locus of the Royal.
Oh, you're a terrible person.
No, the scary one's Locus of Rage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
God.
I'm building the new one.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
That's the ETB Elementals ping.
That one's fun.
Yeah, I needed something that wasn't mean because my other 3 are Brago, Zur, and Kalia.
Oh, you are a terrible person.
Yeah. So I was kind of looping back to what I was saying before. It's kind of an asshole.
That
Trying
happened
not
to
to
me.
be. So I built something nicer this time.
Good
That,
lord.
that happened to me because I built. I finally made Kozilek into the meanest deck I've ever done out of all the decks I've named.
Yikes.
And then D&D wise, I'm in 4 games right now.
Oh my god.
About a month ago, I was in 5 games. I currently DM 2 and play 2. And previous to that, I was DMing 3 and playing 2.
All right.
That's insane.
What about you, Kyle?
Well, like I mentioned before, I'm running a game right now. I have a couple first timers. A lot of my friends said they were interested. I'm like, I'm pretty sure I could DM. Let me take a stab at this.
That's what keeps happening to me.
Yeah.
A couple of my friends are interested. I could do a 4th game. I could do a 5th game.
Well, this is like my first time seriously DMing too,
Huh.
so I am terrified constantly.
Me too.
Like half the times I'm just like, yeah, I can't wait to see how this pans out. I don't really know what the story is. I'm flying by a lot of seat in my pants here.
You can't overplan.
You really can't. I try to.
Yeah.
But games wise, I'm addicted to Enter the Gungeon. I think I have over 300 hours now. I have a problem, and I'll never stop playing that game.
I played that with my friend Vinny. I kind of was like having tiredness, but I played it. I was like, oh, this seems fun for a Switch game or something. Is it a Switch game?
All I know about that game
Every
is that there's a gun that shoots guns.
There's-
That shoots bullets.
You know, every gun that's been in everything, it's in there.
Yeah.
Name one. Anywhere. It's there. You want the gun that was duct taped to the back of Bruce Willis? That one's there. It makes you shoot bullets out your back.
Oh my god.
BFG 9000?
Oh yeah, there's like 3 different versions.
Which one do you want? I'll take them.
The Doom 95 one.
You want Judge Dredd's gun? That's there.
Dope.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
yeah, every
Oh,
it,
yeah.
it is a reference. Like I would say, just movies. No, it's literally everything. There's anime, comics, even dumb like paper. There's a gun that shoots paper airplanes.
You might like Broforce because every
Oh, I've
character.
played Broforce.
Yeah.
I've
Every
played
character
Broforce.
you get
It's a
is
good
like a
time.
reference. So, okay, this is the end of the podcast. Please come to Platinum Star Games right next to Swing Time in Howell.
Thanks, Kyle. I
Next
love you.
weekend.
Oh, he finally said it.
Have a good night, everyone.